Vicki here, or rather future Vicki here. So in today's video, we're gonna go out to the back and work on some tomato pruning. So essentially, the bottom of the tomato plants, the leaves are getting yellow. They're looking a little diseased. And while I know it is not a harm to the tomato itself, it is a harm to me that the spiders are making nests in that foliage. Okay, it's gross. I don't want it. So anywho, we're gonna prune all the bottom leaves off, hopefully for better, happier, healthier tomato plants. So let's get to it. So I'm trying to just go in and look at leaves that are, or branches rather, that are either looking kind of yellow or are in the way, because that is a fair reason to give it a haircut. These are indeterminate tomatoes, so a little is not going to hurt it. I'm trying not to go overboard, but I do need to be able to still use my pathways. And the inside of the plants need to breathe a little better, I think. So those are my main goals, is to get a little airflow, get out any diseased leaves, make sure I can continue to walk around, and hopefully end up with happier, healthier plants. So I like to put all of the debris in a bucket or until I can toss it out. But I left my bucket outside and it got rained and full of rainwater. So I had to take a little moment to empty it, and no better place than to put it to use and actually water some of these plants with it. So I I watered kind of the entire bed here and some of the one behind me with it in order to just make use of the rainwater I had accidentally collected. In May, we had a lot of rain, maybe early June. Honestly, I can't quite remember. But there was a week where it rained almost every day. So that's when this was. So I also needed to trim back some of the tall grass, and I decided to just toss it in to the bed as like a mulch, if you will, if you'll give me the grace to consider it as such. But the what I noticed and what I hadn't really thought about before the season started is that the tall grass attracts pests. It breeds insects. It provides a hiding space for the squirrels and the bunnies from the birds of prey. It can also disguise other things like frogs, which I've seen quite a few in the backyard, or perhaps snakes, which I have not seen and I don't want to see. I can't deal with that. So, did need to trim the grasses, and that's what I used it for so far. I know the vantage point is not super duper, but I think that you can already tell, and I could certainly start telling, that we're getting a lot more clarity down into the bottom of the plants. Um, I was struggling even to see ripened tomatoes because of all the foliage. And I do think that this is helping so much with that and just making the plants a little easier. So easier, happier. So I did also prune a few branches that were a little further up on the plant just for that purpose, making sure that I could see Because if I can't see in there, A, I can't pick my tomatoes. B, I can't see if there's a problem. You know, tomato hornworms are notorious pests for these plants, but there could also be other caterpillars or slugs. I found a few slugs on the white currant tomatoes. So, overall, beneficial to have visibility into the plants. So this is a tomato plant that I have actually been working on propagating. So I took it out to prune because I didn't want to accidentally chop it or spill it. It's living inside of a red Solo cup. And so I just took it out and now I'm putting it back so that it can continue to live. But I decided to actually plant it. So it's leaving its cup behind. We'll see how it goes.
So this is looking much better now. I can actually see where the tomatoes are. As it grows more, I'm gonna have to keep pruning, but at least now you can breathe a little and I can see a little better. There were vines that had completely died there in the back and were diseased, so I'm glad I got those. But yeah, good progress for the evening.